So I said, your government name is David Emmanuel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your name you go by Caesar Emmanuel. Can you tell me how did that change and when did this happen? Is it one day you woke up and you were like, yo, no, call me C's. This is what we doing.
Nah, that's what my grandmother wanted to call me. My mom, she wanted to call me what she wanted to, but you know, Big Mama, she always supersedes everybody. So when she called me that, everybody kind of stood to that, and I always call myself that. Like, yeah, my government name is David, but do I really look like a David to you?
No, you don't look like no David, bro. You do not look. David reminds me of some white dude that you take.
Exactly. My grandmother, straight from yard, you know, straight from Spanish Town. She wasn't with the whole, how can you say, naming me like that. Nah, she ain't like that name.
So let me ask you this. So pretty much your whole life, ever since a little kid, you were called Caesar.
Yeah, because she was like, my mom, it was like a battle between them. Cause my mom said David was the king in the Bible, right? But my grandmother said Caesar was an emperor. That means he was the king of the kings. He made kings. So that's why it always stuck with me. When she said that, she was like, yeah, you right, Grandma.
You sound like I'm sold. So let's start this. You were born in the Bronx, but that's not where you grew up, right?
No, hold on. I wasn't born in the Bronx. A lot of people think.
No?
Nah, we gonna set this record straight. I was born in Left Right City, Queens.
Okay.
Yeah, and it got too hot out there, you know what I mean? With all, I think my family was there for that first raid of Left Right. And my mom decided that the Bronx would be a better place for me to grow up in. I don't know what she was thinking.
But wait a minute. People don't know this. There's some great parts in the Bronx now. You got Riverdale. You got there's some really great parts. And were you in the South Bronx, Gun Hill Road? Like I used to work in the Bronx. So what part were you in?
I grew like my family grew up in Gun Hill Road. Like that's where I was supposed to grow up at. But I was mostly on 174 with my cousin Ted.
So on Westchester Avenue. No. Grand Concourse.
No, I was on Gun Hill and 174. That's the South Bronx right there. So I used to go from the northeast Bronx to the South Bronx to hang out with my cousin because it was popping over there.
Now, where did your mother have her hair salon?
In Astoria, Queens.
In Astoria, Queens.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can you tell me kind of like what did you learn from her? Because obviously, from what I understand, your mother was very successful at having her own hair salon. And it's not like she had any formal training. She just kind of created it?
And my mom's is just like, how can you say it? My mom's is dope because she never, like, you couldn't tell her no. Like, if you try to tell her no, it makes her go harder. Even you be telling her, like, yo, you can't do this, and she won't do it. I remember that joint called back then when that was a foreign car, and I'm sitting there like, my mom's
right?
Yeah, so it was like I really learned a lot from her, especially her work ethic. Like, it never stops.
God, so that's kind of where you got this from. That's how you ended up on the world's largest entertainment platform. You had a vision and you just went for it. You got that from your moms.
Right. My mom's is just, she don't take no for an answer, yo.
Yeah, so I want to just touch on this really quickly because, I believe firmly in also acknowledging both parents, right? And so we know that your father passed from AIDS, but you didn't find that out until after his death, right? Can you tell me what impact that had on you? Because you weren't very close with him.
Nah, I wasn't. It bothered me when I first heard I was still young. And when you get older, you figure like you got some time to really like, get up with your pops. Because you understand like parents sometimes don't get along. And then it don't take you till you get older to understand that. So I must have I had Cheyenne. Cheyenne must have been like, I think she ain't make one yet. And I was so like hurt because he didn't even get to see his granddaughter. And I was so like proud because this is my first kid. At the time I was with a successful graphic design firm. I wasn't in the streets, no nothing. I just wanted to show my pops, like, yo, I'm doing something myself. And I really never got to do that. I feel like it got stolen from me.
Oh wow, man. Sorry to hear that. That's always so tough, right? So he pretty much wasn't around like when you were going through elementary school and high school and all that stuff, right? Is that what I'm understanding?
He wasn't. I had a step pops. My step pops was around that time. My step pops, he was a get money. He was getting money, man. He was a businessman. No, he wasn't in the streets. He just sold a whole lot of real estate, made a whole lot of money, and bought a whole lot of buildings in the Bronx. So I learned a lot from him too. He was a sharp.
You right? You learned it from both sides of the fence, right? From mom and stepdad. Now, I mentioned that you're self-proclaimed. Now, everybody, be sure that I didn't make this up. He's a self-proclaimed troublemaker. Now, you may self-proclaim to be a troublemaker, but you're certainly not a dumb guy, dude. You not only graduated from high school, but you also graduated from college, which was better than 90% of the people that you grew up with, right? It's like, but how did you end up in graphic school in Livingston, New Jersey? That's my question.
Listen, I seen a commercial, something might change your life. My baby mother must have been like 5 months pregnant. And I was like, yo, I really need to do something. And I felt like going back to school and really getting a degree in something I love doing, like drawing. It just made sense. So I went back to school. And the funny thing is, I was doing that. I was working full time at the time. I think
King Magazine.
Best Buy, something like that. I forgot where I was working. I ain't had too many jobs, so I'll be forgetting about them. And then from there, it was like I just strived to be the best at when I was in school. Especially there was a little dweeb in my class that I couldn't stand. He was like the teacher's pet. I like, yo, I got to do better than him. So we was always in the same class, and that's what strived me to be valedictorian. It was by accident. It was like, oh, I got to beat him, yo.
So
it was like valedictorian.
Against me. Dweeb in the classroom. So you were basically striving to be better than me in the classroom, huh?
Yeah, I have to. I'm smarter than you. I know my future set, because your future set, you a smart motherfucker.
Now, wait a minute. Did I just hear you say that you ended up being the valedictorian?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So is that how you landed at the time when I was growing up, King Magazine and Double XL, the spinoff, those were the urban magazines. Is that how you kind of landed over there?
Bro, I tell you, man, listen, I learned from very ambitious parents. And at the end of the day, I know where to chase the money. So when I seen what it was, and then, me and Big Joe, we had a great relationship at the time, because, he seen me as a young kid coming up. He was like, you want to do a magazine? I said, yeah, boy. But it kind of got thrown off because the magazine was supposed to go with a tour, and a lot of people don't know, like, Chinks was in my first magazine. Like, a whole bunch of people was in my first two magazines. A whole lot of people. If people even knew how many people, like, Cardi B's in my magazine, the first edition. Yeah, like, it's a whole bunch of people, and it's like, it never got kicked off because I went through a little something when Chinks died, because Chinks music was really my dude, bro. So he died, we supposed to go on tour, and then we didn't, and then I just went back to filming, and then it was like, I just left the magazine alone. Even though it was successful, it was like, I didn't have the love for it no more. I just was like, I don't know, man.
So when you left the magazine, is that kind of when you got bit by the tattoo bug? Like,
nah, the magazine came while I was on television. The tattoo bug came while I was getting, like, I used to get a lot of ink. You feel me? Mm-hmm. There was my boy who was like, he was into it. You feel me? But I was kind of like hesitant. I was like, yeah, I. But what happened, because I was still in the streets, he was making some money in that shit. So I was still in the streets, and then what happened was, I remember I was going to school and I still was hustling, and it was like there was this customer in my building. I didn't know he did tattoos for the whole building. So while I'm going to school now, I'm getting my drawing skills up, so I'm drawing up tattoos for people in the building for somebody to go tattoo them. I'm just getting my little money. I ain't care about where that shit went. So what happened now is he finds out it's me. So this is the funny joint, right? This is hilarious because sometimes it's like a cycle. Like you're destroying somebody and then somebody's trying to help you. It's some funny Chinese poem behind this shit. I don't know because he was the last customer that I ever served. I went up to his crib. It was late night. Like, yo, what's up? What you want? Yo, listen, I don't want nothing. I want to help you out. How you gonna help me out? So basically, he was like, yo, listen, stop doing what you're doing, and I'm gonna teach you how to tattoo and get all the way out the street. So, first, I laughed at him, told him like, nah, you bugging the hell out. But then I took him up on his offer. In 3 months, I was tattooing, and then I went to go see my boy that I told you that tattoo. He helped me push me a little bit long, and then before you know it, I got my own shop in Little Brooklyn, and you see it now, BlackInk.
Right, yeah.
Every day.
We're skipping around like that. It ain't that dang on easy. I need to know, how the hell did BlackInk Crew, not only the shop come about, but how did the show come about? How do you end up on the largest entertainment platform in the country, actually in the world? How do you end up, beyond just that, how do you end up the number one show? Like, how does this happen? You can't say that it goes from, being in the Bronx, being motivated. Like, how did this happen?
That joint right there, let me tell you, that took a lot of willpower, not just for me, but like a couple people on the team. The whole BlackInk Crew joint happened just like this, right? If a lot of people remember, Corey Guns had a reality show called Son of a Gun. I tattooed Corey chest on Son of a Gun. They seen the whole chemistry of the whole shop and wanted to shoot a pilot on us. So we yo, you know what? Let's try it out. You feel me? But I didn't want to at first. My cousin had to talk me into it at least 3 times. I said, nah, I ain't trying to do that. So what happened now is we sit there and say, all right, we're going to do this. We do it. I'm figuring, out of pilot, they're going to realize the waste they damn money. And then this whole project, I just want to take my money. You feel me?
Right.
So, we shot that pilot. They came back talking about, there's some bidding awards for y'all. I didn't know nothing about that. I was like, where's my money, man? Y'all got y'all probably, where's my money?
Right.
Listen, before we know it, that shit shot up to just, like, we went to the top. Like, it went from being a half-hour show to an hour.
Right.
VH1, like, it was so crazy. And then it was like, it went from them ordering 10 episodes to 24 episodes. So by the time you knew it, we was already like, we was pushed into right after Love and Hip Hop. They threw us in the ring and we didn't even know what we was fighting or how to fight yet. It took us a minute, but we didn't know what we had. And then when you start looking at the first couple of seasons, like, oh shit, it was like they caught something that you can't catch no more. It was like, how do you you can't bring a cast together like that. We was already together. That chemistry is from us from being around each other day in, day out for hours. So it was like, we was just a bunch of young kids on Hennessy just trying to show the world we trying to make it.
It also reminded me of kind of, in a way, almost like a creative barbershop. So that was like with Teddy, right? That's your cousin. Puma.
I mean, most of it is like, honestly, keep your head up. Don't worry about it. Shit like that. But honestly, like with everything said and done, I keep telling them, like, stop worrying about me. I gotta take accountability for my actions. I can't sit here and be like, yo, shit ain't happening. Shit happened. And the day is a learning experience for me. So with them, it's like, yo, y'all keep doing what y'all gotta do. Keep getting your money.
So let's you and I have a real conversation. So you don't feel some kind of way, seeing your fellow cast members remain on a show that you created that you hustled to the network, that you went from year 1 to year 10, it went from 30 minutes to an hour, you went from 10th show on the docket to number 1. Like, you don't feel some kind of way after 10 years, them kind of keeping the legacy going without you?
Nah, because if I was kind of immature to what happened, yeah, but it wasn't them that took me off television. It was my own actions. So for me to be mad at other people for what I did, I can't be. I really can't. Like, I gotta be honest with myself. Mm-hmm. I don't be mad at them for what I did. Nah, what the more mature thing is, y'all keep getting money, I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
Now, is this the Caesar that is a couple of months removed from the incident, a couple of months removed from the fire? When it first happened, were you this evolved about it?
Yeah, because no one see me go on live. No one see me make any statements like, fuck that, start blasting people. Nah, people understand that incident happened years ago and already seeked help after that. You feel me? That video was held basically to almost on some blackmail shit. But that whole incident, I was already past that. And when it happened, when the video did get leaked, I was already ready for the consequences.
Got it. Okay. Oh, this is really good. So let me go ahead and ask this. I'm glad you said that word blackmail because that's what it almost felt like as it started.
If somebody's holding something for 2 years and wait till somebody like not with.
How did that person? I'm going to assume it was your ex. That's what the media says. How did they get the video?
If you live in a house with somebody, right, and you got cameras because you live in a land and you gotta stay safe. They got kids, I got valuables, but only you two have access to that Ring camera. How else would it get leaked out there? Like, I don't have to sit here and show up a picture of everybody, but at the end of the day, I didn't do it.
Right. No. I'm glad you're helping me understand it. Another question on this. Is there, when I hear the word blackmail, I also think, is there a possibility for legal action when you're being blackmailed? How does that work? Have you explored that?
At the end of the day, you can't, suing somebody who don't really got nothing, you don't win shit, you feel me? Like, I could sit there and sue a whole bunch of people, but at the end of the day, it's a waste of time. You'll win, you'll never get anything. Only thing you lose is the lawyer fee that you spend.
Got it. So can I ask a tough question? Can I ask a tough question?
Real tough question. This is real tough. Because if it's really tough, I think I might have to take a time out. You know?
No, I think you can handle it, man. You're so smooth. I think it's a tough question in the sense of it would require you to reflect. And I don't know if you're in the reflection stage of this, but my question that I had when I watched this as it all started to unfold were like, what are some of your thoughts that went through your mind that you never shared in the aftermath of that video being leaked? Like, give me the thoughts you haven't shared with anybody else. Like, what really was going through your mind as you started to just kind of see this unfold publicly? Because you're a reality star of 10 years. So it's one thing to deal with it behind the public. But when that mug hits that press and you're dealing with it in the public, what were some of those thoughts? Some of those real, like, seized thoughts, just you and sitting in your room thoughts?
You know, when it happened, it was like, it wasn't even the video that shot me, you feel me? Because I had a feeling something would happen because that person was meant. I had a feeling they was going to do something, you feel me? So when that happened, I was like, all right, we know where that came from. But it was more of the aftermath. Like, people coming out of left field saying, I did this to them, I did that to them, I'm some horrible monster. And it was like, wait, I don't remember being this horrible monster when I was with y'all, but now that I'm not, I'm all of this. Even some of the pictures that came out that had nothing to do with me. Like, I seen a picture supposedly I did that I know was from fucking liposuction surgery, but people just jumped on it and it was like, all right, this is the day we live in. But then even after, it was like, I see people saying all this negative stuff about me. But what happened to all these people that I done help? I ain't seen no one come and say, yo, listen, homie went through a moment. That shit was back in the days. Like, he ain't like that. I ain't seen none of that shit. All I heard was the negative shit. So it was like, what bothered me was like, was more of my phone rings all the time when people need help.
Right.
And now that I'm going through something, ain't no phone ringing, no nothing. And I gotta respect that. The only thing that I could take from this situation, besides the lesson, is the lesson that everybody really ain't there for you, especially when you need them.
That hits home. That hits home with me, Caesar. I think I went through the same thing a little bit in my dissolution.
But the thing about 10 years on television, you know what I mean? People lives are done changed.
Right.
Like it ain't called BlackInk for no reason. I made BlackInk so we wouldn't be statistics. And every single person off BlackInk is sitting there and say, yo, my life changed significantly since being on that. And it ain't just New York. That's Chicago brand. That's LA brand. So it was like, y'all don't know me and know like, alright, this is video out, but motherfuckers know my character. Like, even when he was going through something, it wasn't none of that shit. And I was like, damn, I guess I ain't got nobody in my corner, and I could respect that.
So what emotional impact has this had on you mentally from experiencing all this betrayal? See, this to me is betrayal. I view it. Sorry, I'm not mature enough. I view it as betrayal. I view it as betrayal from an ex-female that leaked it or whoever leaked it. I view it as a betrayal of people that I thought were my friends that were going to be there for me because I was there for them and they not. I view it as a betrayal from the network, someone that I gave 10 years of my freaking life to. Like what emotional impact did all these different betrayals have on you? And how did you deal with it?
Truthfully, it was a different feeling. That's what hurt the most out of everything. It was like all those betrayals was like, how do I deal with it? And I was just one day at a time. Like, I don't really have I ain't no blueprint or no book I could go off of. All I had to do was sit there and just focus up. And I know I would figure this out. And I just had to, because at the end of the day, it's funny because it took me this situation to really realize how strong I am. It really made me realize, like, I've been holding all this weight on my shoulder from other people I've been carrying. And now that everybody jumped off, it's like I feel stronger, I feel better, I feel less stressed. Like, you gotta understand, before this incident, you can imagine living 10 years ostracizing yourself because you're scared of incidents like this might happen and you might cancel your show and your friends and your family can't eat no more. Like, that was a stress for 10 years, yo. You know how many times I've been in a situation I have to walk away like, I can't do this, I gotta be more mature because I got something to lose.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it always came down to it. Now that I've been through this situation and I've been through the criticism, negativity, I feel like it just made me stronger because it didn't break me.
Now, see, you said earlier in the conversation something about you got help. You know, you got somebody to help you with this. When you say that, do you mean, did you try therapy? I do therapy. I'm an advocate.
I went to therapy. I tried the online thing, but that online thing wasn't working for me. I had to see somebody in person. Really talk to them, like, really have a talk to them, because people don't understand, especially me being who I am and me being the CEO of a company and whatnot. There's not too many people you could talk to. Who do you talk to once you start getting to certain levels? It's like, you can't talk to your boy who can't recognize, like, damn, you got how many shots, bro? So how early? And it's like he can't comprehend that. So it's like a lot of things you put in your brain, and you're like, and nothing can't unload, no emotions, no nothing. And after a while, it's like, I need to talk to somebody.
Right.
Because this whole experience is new to me. Like, I didn't strive for fame. This whole fame thing is just like, even 10 years in, I'm still not used to it. I'm still not used to it. And it's like, it's funny because people be like, yo, why you here? Why you here? It's like, I feel more comfortable here. I feel more comfortable going back home to the Bronx instead of going to LA to the BET Awards. I feel more comfortable some places. Like, I don't know, man. Sometimes I just got to get out this hood mentality, I guess.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely. You got to stretch yourself. Now, we talked about betrayal from friends. We talked about betrayal from loved ones, girlfriends, someone that you slept in bed with, lived under the same roof. We talked about betrayal from a network. Do you feel, my next betrayal, the question that I have is, do you feel betrayed by your daughter with how she expressed
her? You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, at first I did, but then I had to realize something. A child necessarily can't be fault for their behavior. Most of the time it lays upon the adult. And with everything being said and done, I just feel like with all we've been through between me and her, I just feel like God got us on the end, because if anybody know me, know that whole situation was just some crazy, crazy shit. And at the end of the day, I feel like the way I went about it, I should have went about it a different way. Instead of sitting here trying to explain to everybody else what's going on in my household, instead of fixing my household. And it was like I was more worried about, I would say, my image than sitting here trying to rectify this shit with my daughter. And once I realized that shit, is like, you know what? I gotta fix this. Fuck everything else. Like, at the end of the day, this shit ain't like it is now. But my daughter is she carries my blood. So at the end of the day, like, I'm working towards mending that situation. That's what I really want.
Caesar, are you a good dad?
I used to think I was, but then I had a talk with my sister one time, and I realized that I wasn't. Like, sometimes as a father, you try to give your child materialistic things that you think they want and they need, because you're in a situation that you can't. But where I was wrong at, I should have been spending more quality time with her. Instead of sitting and using an excuse, I'm building an empire to leave to her. A child is not going to understand that. They're not going to understand into the future. My dad's going to leave me inheritance. They don't got to sit here and work at no 9 to 5. People who are working for me. Like, that's one of the things that I have to realize, even going to therapy. It's like, I gave her everything. You got Rolexes, you got Louis bag, you got, but not that time. Feel like sometimes we'll spoil our child, especially my only child, she's my daughter. We'll spoil them, but we ain't spoiling with the right things, yo. And that's when I had to realize, maybe I wasn't a good dad, yo. Because in my head, I always like, I'm a perfect dad. But money don't make you perfect, yo.
What would you do different?
Honestly, a whole bunch of things, bro. Like, I wouldn't have been concentrating on building a shop before I show my daughter the importance of business, the importance of being stable, the importance of certain things. Like, I always thought, like, at one time, especially like when I'm getting up in age, I'll be able to handle over the whole empire when she got out of college. That was my big plan. But at the end of the day, I could see where my faults was, yo. Like, I should have been fought, even though I was going through court situation with my mother. I should have fought more to have her with me more. I should have went to the precinct even more when she used to violate my visitation rights. Instead of just saying, I'm going to see her, she going to stop playing sooner or later. It's like, it's certain things, it's like, I just wish I could reverse time, but I can't. Only thing I could do is look to the future to hope to mend stuff.